Hello, everyone. Y'all, we are, I don't know, 3 or 4 days in. I do know, four days in to this journey, this conversation about widowhood. And, well, I'm your host, Tahisa Dell, and I have been a widow for 3 years and a few months now. And couple of things happened today that I want to share with you guys and get your feedback on. You will more than likely or obviously be watching this at a later time. But today, on October 4th, 2023, 6 days shy of my husband's, what would be his 48th birthday here on earth, I had one flashback, one flashback, and one encounter with the Lord that was short and powerful, and I want to share those with you. Hopefully I can get through both of them without shedding any tears, because I did that already today. So the first one is the flashback. OMG. So I work from home, and I live with my mom, and she is typically, I work in my bedroom in this space that we're in currently, and I keep the door open because I have a wonderful four-legged child. Like, are they deformed? No, that's my fur baby, my dog, who is 14 years old. Her name is Miss Effie White. You'll get to meet her one day. And so I keep the door open, and I'm not certain, either my mother was in the living room or she was on her patio with the door open. And I could hear, because she keeps things kind of loud so that she can hear. Okay. So what I heard this scream, at least what sounded like a scream. I have no idea. I didn't go to my mother and find out, okay? But I heard what sounded like a scream. And I'm pausing because I kind of want to go back there, but not really. So I heard this scream, and it gave me a flashback of the day in the middle of the night that I had to go to the hospital and say goodbye to my husband. So, very quickly, very briefly, gosh, I'm getting into our story. Well, I already told you that my husband had health issues, okay? And so his juvenile, I shouldn't say his, but the juvenile diabetes had taken a toll over his body. And along the way, other health issues happen. So, I believe I mentioned it, that my husband lost his sight a couple of, maybe a month after we returned from our honeymoon. And then, and he lost his job 2 weeks after we returned from our honeymoon, okay? But along the way, not only did he lose his sight, But then he developed high blood pressure and kidney failure. High blood pressure and kidney failure. That nail broke. So those take a toll on the body, period. Okay. And I will share more about his health issues. But basically, because of juvenile diabetes and all of these other health issues that continue to be piled on, he also had heart disease. And that heart disease was affecting the way blood flowed through his whole body. Okay. My husband went into the hospital May 5th. It was a Tuesday, 2020. Isn't it interesting how we remember these dates? Went to the hospital May 5th, 2020. That was unexpected. We thought we were going to just to get a second opinion, okay? And they were like, yeah, we want to keep him. So they kept him. And the reason why they wanted to keep him was to find out why the recent surgery he had to remove his toe, why it had not been healing. Okay. Or why it wasn't healing as fast. And so what they found is that there was not enough blood flow going to his feet. We had been talking about a kidney transplant. He had been on dialysis for 10 years. And when you get workup done to make sure that you are able to withstand the operation of the transplant, it includes an assessment of your heart. Okay. So we had been told before he needed a bypass. And then the report came back. We got a second opinion. It was like, no, we're good. And we praised God for that. So he's in the hospital. We had been talking about the kidney transplant again. And so we were like, okay, listen, let them look at your heart. And so they did. And long story short, he had a triple bypass on May 18th, 2020. So he went into the hospital May 5th, had the surgery on May 18th, which was my best friend's birthday. And so he had that operation 2 days later. He was not responding. Day and a half later, actually, because I came to visit the next day or the day after. He was not responding. Like something just happened and I didn't know what happened. Okay, I'll get into more of that later. But fast forward to early morning, June 12th, 2020. And just to tell you, the doctors were telling me that it doesn't look good. They were telling me that he's not going to make it, that the machine was the only thing really keeping him, and I would not receive it. I would visit him and worship the Lord. He was not responsive. I would worship the Lord, anoint his feet and his hands. And I get this call, June 12th, probably about 2:30 in the morning. The nurse told me to come now. Come now. And so I do what I had always done in a time of crisis. I didn't shed tears. I got ready to go. Told my immediate family, and it took some time, but just a little bit of time, for them to come to the house. And my brother did the driving. Come now. But I want to go back to what I said. I heard this scream, and it reminded me, it was a flashback of the scream that I let out before I walked out of the door of this house to see my husband. So I'm sitting here working. And I hear this scream. And it took me back there. It took me back. Yeah, it took me back. I don't know what else to say. It took me back. I did not break down and cry today, right? I believe I did. I don't even think I did after I made that scream, but that scream was so intense. Something that I didn't even know would come out of me. And even when I've thought of it since then, it's always been like, wow, that scream. We'll continue this story another day, but I want to pose a question to you. Where were you? Where were you? Were you with your husband? Were you with your wife? Did you receive a phone call? Did someone come knocking on your door? Where were you? I will never forget where I was and where I had to go to. So that's a question for you. Where were you? Listen, you may not be able to visit that place, but what I'm telling you is that things will happen, and I'm sure you already know, things will happen as we continue to move forward in life that will bring you back to a place of I remember when. And that's what happened to me today. And I'm going to leave you with this. So later on today, this was my encounter with Jesus. Later on in the day today, I was watching a doctor who connects mental health and faith. And she preaches about this. When I happen to, and I don't believe anything happens by chance, but I happened to find a video that she did on February 2nd, 2020. And I'm not even done with it yet. I had paused it, in between my work. And a phrase she kept saying is I need Jesus more than I need answers. And that the God that I serve, I cannot believe my mental capacity. I refuse to believe that some of the trauma and the devastation and the loss that happens to us is because God caused it. Not my good father. But the phrase she kept saying, she said it about 3 times. I need Jesus more than I need answers. Because some of us may not get the answer to why our husband died before reaching his 45th birthday. Why did my wife, who I just married, drop dead? Why did my child that I just had die? Why? When I tell you that I broke down just thanking the Lord, that I am in a place now that I know I need him. I need Jesus more than I need answers to the why. So I want you to think about that. And, comment. If you'd like to know who it was, I could share that with you. You can send a comment with your information, and I'd be more than happy to share that with you. This is all new for me, so I don't know if I'm allowed to, say. So that's why I didn't share, but I'm more than happy to share that information with you. But yeah, I had a flashback, and I had an encounter with Jesus. Until the next time, good night.